You've been told verify. Now you don't know what to do. We're gonna talk about it. But hold on, let me stop sharing my screen. So I just want to say some real talk with y'all before we even get into the video. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Someone on my team, someone on my team, please clip what I'm about to say. So I need y'all to understand that y'all got perfect attendance when it comes to going to the club, when it comes to being a slave for your 9 to 5, when it's time to work on your business, when it's time to work on something that's going to set your generational wealth up. Y'all are consistently absent, right? That means you're not showing up. So y'all got to understand, like, when it comes to setting up your generational wealth, when it comes to, getting your people to the next level, you got to show up. You can't just not have perfect attendance. You want to have perfect attendance when it comes to it's time to go to the club. You want to have perfect attendance when it's time to slave at that 9 to 5, but you don't want to have perfect attendance when it's time to go to the gym, when it's time to get your body right, when it's time to build up that business is going to get your generational wealth to the next level. When it's time to fix your credit, y'all don't want to have perfect attendance, right? You need to have perfect attendance, the same energy y'all are using when you're driving in traffic, rushing to that 9 to 5 to slave away at that 9 to 5. You need to put that same energy into what you got going on. Do you care about your kids? Do you care about your family? Do you care about all that? You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to really understand that if you don't understand that already, because I know so many people, they're just slaving away at that 9 to 5. They're just giving 1,000% to their 9 to 5. They're giving their generational wealth nothing. So, just wanted to give y'all that real quick, but let's get straight into it. I'm gonna share my screen and then we gonna talk about, just being able to get these negative items deleted. Because I need y'all to show up when it comes to the same thing, the same energy you're using for that 9 to 5. You need to use it for your generation. All right, let's get it. So we're gonna talk about basically a method of verification template. Damn, look at the muscles. I'll be telling y'all, sometimes I'll be going to the gym, I'll be forgetting. You know what I'm saying? But all right, let me not get distracted. All right, so whenever you send out a notice, sometimes the credit bureaus are gonna be like, oh, verified, verified, verified. I know y'all have heard about it. Now you don't know what to do. So just to educate y'all a little bit, there's something called a stall tactic. So if you're not familiar, basically the credit bureaus, they're gonna stall you and they're gonna make sure that they make it hard for you to actually delete the item. And we're in 2023 versus like when I first started, which was 2021. There were still stall tactics, but it's just they're making it a lot harder to get items deleted because more people are getting hip to consumer laws and stuff. More people are watching my YouTube channel, which is the best YouTube channel on the planet. Y'all know. So y'all keep that in mind. All right. So whenever you're writing your notice, this is an example of how it could look. And basically, when you get told verified, I want y'all to follow up with a method of verification notice. So we're gonna walk through it. One thing y'all will notice on the screen is that we are mailing to 2 Experian addresses, which I always tell people to do. So you want to mail to not just a PO box, you want to mail to their register agent address as well, because you want to set it up as if it's going to court. If it's going to court, you're gonna have to serve them at their register agent address. You can't serve no PO box. It doesn't work like that, right? So keep that in mind. So, like usual, full name, address, last 4 of your social, date of birth, the date, etc. Right? Okay, Experian, we got address, and then Information Solutions, we got their register agent. And those of y'all that don't know, move myself a little bit so I could be scrolling down. No, hold on. We do it like this. All right, so those of y'all that don't know, we have something called the sandwich method that I created. So we use that as a guide for creating our notices, right? So the what, the why, the how, and then the what. It's like a sandwich because you see the what and the what is on the top and bottom. Pause. So what happened? What items are we disputing? What do we want them to do? Why are you able to dispute? What laws did they violate and why is it a violation? So you just want to ask yourself these kind of questions when you are creating your letter. How is what stated a violation of your rights? And then what you want them to do again. For example, send you a copy of your new report after they delete the info that they're supposed to be deleted, right? So method of verification request. So this is an example of how y'all could write it. So don't say I ain't never gave y'all no sauce. Y'all could go look at past videos. Y'all know I'll be giving a sauce anyways. So basically you could start it off by saying, it goes back to the what happened. I pulled a copy of my consumer report and notified your agency on include the date of your first round dispute. This is why this is a method of verification follow-up to your initial dispute. You're following up on what you already did. So you have documentation. You should have, hold on. You should have like the green return receipt thing. You know what I'm saying? Like they should have mailed it over to you because like if it goes to court, you want to basically set yourself up to where you're gonna win essentially. So that's how we do it. So I sent you this about some items I disputed. Care was not taken into this matter, as it is yet to be resolved in a manner that's fair and equitable to me, the consumer. Per the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you see regulations. You see I'm using the language of the FCRA. If you don't notice what's going on, fair, equitable. This is all stuff that's in the congressional findings section. So I need y'all to understand the congressional findings section of the FCRA. Oh, I know some credit repair business owners going to be pissed. I'm giving y'all this letter. I'm giving y'all all this sauce. So make sure y'all take notes. Make sure y'all implement. And if you're a credit repair business owner, like you can literally, you don't got to be mad that I'm giving out all the game. You can literally use this for your business. Go get you some results. So I mailed off my notice to your agency, which included FTC identity theft report, and then you basically, just walk through everything that you did, right? So this is basically recounting everything that you did. All of these were received on insert the date of your green return receipt. This is why having receipts is important. Having receipts is what's going to help you win in court. They're not going to want to go to court with you if you document everything. That's how we get settlements outside of court. And then I said insert the image of the green receipt card there. It's just something we do. You don't have to do it, but it's just showing them like, I got these receipts if you really want to take it to that next level. I explained the violations your agency committed under FCRA while informing your agency of the fact that these items were reported without my written consent, violating the permissible purpose. So we're going off of the fact of the permissible purpose section. So you just want to recount everything you did, right? It's like you're telling a story. That's how I want y'all to have your mindset about it. You're telling a story. This leads way to identity theft, violating a block of information, blah, 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 da, da, da. Violation of a civil liability section. You see, I'm basically explaining everything without quoting the law right now. I informed your agency of all of this in my previous notice. You're letting them know. I would attach your initial notice as well, just like showing them again, which I've attached once more again for your record. Look, you see, I said, your agency has clearly refused to follow the law and honor my previous request. So I'm requesting a reinvestigation and demand your agency to explain your method of verification and verifying these items pursuant to the FCRA's procedure in case of disputed accuracy section 1681I number 7, which states, right? So we said a consumer reporting agency shall provide to consumer description by no later than 15 days after receiving, basically the notice, right? They have to let you know how they actually verified it, right? So the law clearly states, so shall, remember shall is important. Shall is an imperative command, so I just included a definition over there. Shall means that it has to happen. It goes back to 1681C-2, block of information resulting from identity theft. So this basically means the term shall is a term that says something is mandatory. I'm demanding an adequate answer from your agency no later than 15 days, or these items must be deleted. We're using the laws, right? So if they don't comply, now you can sue based off of that. This is why we don't worry about no Metro 2. Metro 2, you can't hold them liable in court. This is why consumer law is going to be the most powerful way to actually dispute these items. We just every court is different. So as far as the emotional distress part, it depends on the court and who you're gonna be talking to. But I just put I've suffered emotional distress as a result of this matter, and I've felt suicidal lately as a result. So I demand this matter to be resolved in a fair and equitable manner, which still has not been done. So I can't tell you how you feel. I can't tell you if you felt suicidal based off of the items reporting on there. I'm just putting a template. If you put that in your template, who am I to tell you that you didn't feel suicidal? So remember, you just want to document everything so that by the time it goes over there, you're explaining what the damages were. So keep that in mind, right? A consumer report is defined as the following under the FCRA. So we define consumer report as well. Why do we define consumer report? We're gonna see. So you can read the definition on your own time. I'm not here to read to y'all like y'all a baby or something. It's important to note that the above has not mentioned the use of FICO, right? The consumer report does not include FICO. FICO is something that they just made up and they just running with to judge people, right? So I'm just basically explaining that FICO is what they use to judge us as consumers. It's not included in the consumer report. And it's a factor that the agency has taken upon themselves. It goes back to the congressional findings section. If you go back to the congressional findings section, does it not say that consumer reporting agencies have assumed a vital role? They assumed the role. We ain't telling them to be it. We ain't telling them to be TransUnion, Equifax, Experian. They assumed it. They're not government regulated, right? They're privately owned companies. These are just regular people that were just like, okay, we're going to assume this role. We're going to just start judging people based off of this FICO score. FICO is not mentioned in the FCRA, the FCRA section, right? So why is that a factor when we're talking about these items getting deleted if it doesn't say it is what it is in the consumer report? So remove the damn item, right? We're going based off of the law. So, and sometimes you got to just press them, like I said, because you might send letter after letter after letter. You want to at least send a method of verification notice, in my opinion. But your process is your process, so you gotta know how to go about your process. One thing I always tell my mentees in my program, today's not about I'm saying, my mentorship program. You're gonna join if you want, or don't join, it's up to you. But one thing I tell my mentees a lot is that when they ask me questions sometimes, I'm like, okay, what do you think about how you should approach XYZ? And y'all gotta understand that it's up to you as a business owner to know what it is, right? Because you could ask me, what should I do in this scenario? Y'all are grown. You can decide on what you want to do as far as how you want to move forward. So keep that in mind. Because consumer reporting agencies like your agency have assumed a vital role, Congress explained how it's important to respect a consumer's right to privacy, stated in the following. So I'm going back to the congressional findings section. So I hope y'all can kind of see how it's just like a customized thing. But the overall thing that you can take away is that I'm going back off of the previous notice, but I'm using 1681I number 7 as my foundation, and I'm just walking them through line by line. Okay, this consumer report is this. It doesn't talk about FICO. I have a right to privacy. Let's go look at the congressional findings section. So it's just explaining it to your point, because you want your paperwork to be so on point that by the time if it does go to court, they're not going to want to go to court with you. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, okay, let's just settle outside of court, because they know that if it goes to court, it's not going to be looking good, assuming you can articulate yourself well, right? So at least your paperwork will if you do it right. So keep that in mind. Furthermore, it's important to be aware of the FCRA's exclusion section, my explanation of how and why these items should be deleted. The exclusion section says the following. See, I was literally verbatim, right? When we talk about the sandwich method, how and why it should be deleted. So exclusion, y'all know the exclusion section, or go read it on your own time. Clearly explains that both transactions or experiences between the consumer and the person making a report are to be excluded or not included in a consumer report. I'm the consumer, person defined as the following. A person is defined as the following under FCRA. So you see, I went to the definition of person. Person can be a corporation, it can be a partnership, it can be an individual, right? So includes both your agency and the entity that's reporting needs stuff as a furnisher or whatever, right? So we're just walking through all that. Again, the items I'm disputing are as follows. So just repeat whatever you put in your previous notice that did not get deleted. So for example, we'll put the creditor name, the account number, and then the reasoning is what I want y'all to really get down. So this account is related to a transaction and experience that falls under the exclusion section of FCRA's definition rules of construction section. So I'm just pointing out where it's at. It was also reported without my written consent, and therefore is a result of identity theft as defined by the FTC. I didn't define it, right? And the account shall be deleted. Remember what shall means. It has to be done. This account is not related to any transaction authorized by me to consumer, as I did not give written instructions to your agency to report this, which is a violation of the permissible purpose section, which holds your agency liable for damages of at least $1,000 per the civil liability section for willful noncompliance. And then we basically just say, please delete the item from the consumer report. So you can repeat that for every negative item. If it's a collection, if it's charge off, whatever, right? And then I just gave an example for inquiries. So this hard inquiry was reported without my written consent. Therefore, as a result of identity theft as defined by the FTC, an account shall be deleted. This account is not related to any transaction authorized by me to consumer, as I did not give written instructions to your agency to report it, which is a violation, blah, 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 right? Okay. And then I go back to the reasonable procedures. This is in the congressional findings section. This is why I want y'all to focus so much on the congressional findings section. When you want to understand why and how these items should be deleted, because you gotta break it down to a science and really understand, like, why am I able to delete these items, right? So this is why I need y'all to spend a lot of time on the congressional findings section and understanding it. Credit repair business owners going to be mad that I'm explaining this to y'all. So it is a purpose of the subchapter to require that consumer reporting agencies adopt reasonable procedures for meeting the needs of commerce, blah, 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 blah. Y'all know, y'all can read. Right. Additionally, your agency is violating my consumer rights under the permissible purpose. So we put permissible purpose. We explain we didn't give them written instructions. They're conspiring with the creditors against us and committing aggravated identity theft. We sustain defamation of character, just name a couple damages if it does escalate to court. And then this place in yellow, put it if you have late payments. So 15 USC 1666B. This could basically, you could definitely use this as a law to go to the actual creditor, which is what it's referencing. So a creditor may not treat a payment on a credit card account under an open-end consumer plan as late for any purpose. So definitely make use of that law when it comes to sending to the creditor. You can let the consumer reporting agencies know as well, but you really want to focus on the FCRA laws when it comes to the consumer reporting agencies, which we've listed several or referenced several as I've been walking through the letter. So in regards to the items above having late payments, it's important to note that those are to be excluded, right? So the exclusion section is enough when it comes to late payments, to be honest. Those are to be excluded from consumer report per 15 USC 1666B. So there are various violations the agency is committing by willingly continuing to report this information. Remember, they're willingly continuing to report the information because this is technically your second notice. Technically, your follow-up. It could be your third, fourth, fifth, whatever you want to call it. But technically, it's like your second or more notice because you're bouncing off of the previous notice you sent. I'm distressed, etc. And then we talk about 1681 EB, which is maximum possible accuracy. So you can include that as well. Contacted FTC, again, filed a complaint, etc. Okay, so we're going based off of identity theft. By law, the items listed above are a result of fraud that I did not authorize, right? So you say what something is to you, you go from I can't tell you what's fraud to you. I can't tell you that identity theft was committed to you. So, whatever your situation is. 1681C-2, we referenced that again. So this is a very important law. As you see, it says no later than 4 business days, the item should be deleted. So if I send something out, they get it on September 3rd or something. It shouldn't be there on September 9th. That's been over 4 business days, right? Well, let's just include weekends. It shouldn't be there in September. It shouldn't be there a week later, basically is the point. And then you want to make sure you include all 4 of these items. We've been over this many times, but people may be new watching. So just referencing again, I provided all 4 pieces of information so they can't hit you with, oh, you didn't send a valid notice or something like that. If you do not initiate an investigation regarding my dispute and delete this information, blah, 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 per 1681C-2, and give me the method of verification. Talks about 15 days, right? I will have to take legal action. You just gotta let these people know, right? I will have to take legal action. Each violation is at least $1,000. Damages of $1,000 should it escalate to court. I have suffered emotional distress as a result of this matter, and I felt suicidal lately as a result. Therefore, I'm compelled to escalate this matter and request fair and equitable resolution through arbitration per experience arbitration agreement. So this is something you can consider. You can consider district courts. You can consider small claims. You can consider arbitration. We just like pressing this because we want them to be aware that we know about the arbitration agreement and how it's not favorable to them. Despite my previous communication efforts regarding this topic, this matter has not been adequately and fairly resolved as FCRA Congressional Findings Section honors. Therefore, I'm compelled to escalate this matter and request a fair and equitable resolution through arbitration per experience arbitration agreement. Okay, we put that twice. So I'm aware that under experience arbitration agreement, that Experian is responsible for paying of the arbitration fee. However, considering the substantial costs associated with the arbitration process, I am providing Experian with an opportunity to avoid these expenses altogether. So, you let them know, put it on the table for them. And then basically just delete these items. Issue me a new updated copy of my consumer report, best, your name, enclosed copy of ID, bill attached, all that. So hopefully this was helpful. There's a pretty in-depth notice that y'all could send when you're told verify, because I know a lot of times they're just like, oh, verify, verify, verify. How did you verify the damn information? You know what I'm saying? When we talk about something like a bankruptcy, If it's LexisNexis, LCI, those people giving Experian, TransUnion, Equifax information, they want to say, oh, we got it from them. It's not how it's supposed to. You're supposed to get it from the furnisher technically, but you still have your right to privacy, right? LexisNexis, these people are consumer reporting agencies. While LCI might say to BS that they're not a consumer reporting agency, they try to play the words game. We could play a words game all day with these laws, you know what I'm saying? So just using that as an example to let y'all know, you want to ask them, how did they actually verify the items? If they can't provide that to you within that 15 days, it has to be deleted. So keep that in mind. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share it with somebody that is going to help. Don't be selfish with the information. Do not just have perfect attendance when it comes to going to the club, when it comes to just eating whatever you want, when it comes to having sex. You know what I'm saying? Y'all heard me say sex is for poor people, so remember that. So when it comes to working on your credit, when it comes to discipline, when it comes to going to the gym, when it comes to building up your generational wealth, you need to have the same energy that you have when it comes to building up their dream at that 9 to 5. With that being said, y'all have a blessed one.